looking forward to getting into the brand new album, the EP, and just kind of your world of music. So thank you for taking a minute out.
Thank you. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So before we get into the new album, I want to know this. 5 years ago, this pandemic was changing everything, especially for musicians. How did you make
Right.
it through the pandemic of 2020, and how has it changed the way that you view and do things now?
I think during the pandemic, I actually released my debut album of my band, not of my own.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the band leader, but it's a different band. So that happened during the pandemic, actually. And since we were all from Israel and we were living at NYC at the time, we had to leave NYC and, kind of like reunite in Israel, where they were like being quarantines, and it was, we felt very limited in a way. But through the limitation, we found a lot of freedom to, create music together when the time felt frozen, and it gave us a lot of space to like, just to like recreate and kind of find like new perspectives, and explore further. If it's like just practicing as a band, we felt like we can explore endlessly, because of everything was just frozen and timeless, and I think I mean, without the pandemic, I feel like I I wouldn't have an opportunity to explore different area, like different fields within me as an artist. Like I feel like I explored production and other areas, in music and compositions, because I'm playing acoustic instruments, right? I'm playing saxophone and piano, but because of the pandemic, I actually, oh wait, I can sing as well. I can actually like produce and actually like uh, create something. Like it's a different universe, So I feel like it gave me a lot of like different perspectives as a composer and arranger, but also as a band leader, because we happen to be all of us at once. I think we actually had an interview with you,
Yeah.
with friend, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
5 years ago, right? Like
That's right.
exactly in the pandemic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I remember that. So
Yeah.
with this new EP, what are you hoping the listener gets from this project?
I think, well, this EP was like made in a totally different time,
Yeah.
right? Like and like I just recorded it like 3 months ago, um, in East Side Sounds in New York, with a totally different band. It was a totally different project, and I think it just, I think, first of all, I'm from Israel, so but the earth is small, so everybody are affected by this period, in one way or another. This is what I feel, and I feel like jazz has a lot of like, jazz is one of those art forms that it's like it's ever evolving, and I feel like jazz is one of those things that it's like it always was written in a relevance to what's going on in the world, like, and I feel like in general, a lot of classical composers were like composing things that were related to wars or like tragedies that happened at the time. But I feel the same with jazz, and when it comes to composing, I feel like, and in this period there is so much pain,
Yeah.
um, and it gives a lot of sensitivity to the music, and also melodically, harmonically. So I think my goal, when I was composing this music in the EP, which by the way is going to be in a whole album next year, I feel like its purpose is to give a hug to the people who listens to it, you know, just like
Yeah.
a moment to pause, you know, like this is what I felt as well. Like everything is so fast, everything is like moving so fast, you know. So I felt like it's okay, you know, it's we are human, you know, like there is a certain tempo, you know, that we like a natural tempo that we need to remember to sometimes. It's okay to sometimes to stop and listen and think, you know. So I think that was like the goal of the in general. That's the goal of my music and how it's related to this period and everything. Yeah,
And it's interesting because, as you mentioned, it's really heavy, especially in America, and being in New York, but also going to Israel. And Israel's always a lightning rod. There's always something that's burning on the
sometimes, yeah,
back end. So,
definitely.
how does that kind of chisel you as an artist and help you see these two vastly different cultures to come into your music?
the, this back and forth is unbelievable, and it's so funny that like every time on the plane and like also like recording this EP was also like while I was traveling back and forth to Israel and New York. And I remember like, you know, it's a 12 hours flight, so I remember like even like writing music. Now I have a very interesting relationships in flights, especially to Israel, which is my home. You know, it's literally in the flight. It's where it's also like it's a time like it's time where you can actually be with your thoughts. And I feel like this EP, those whole compositions were like are like journaling, you know, like the pain and the grief that we've all experienced, you know, in one way or another. And I always believe like um yeah, you know, I mourn the people who mourns, you know, like I always like um I feel like as an artist, like I'm a messenger, and I feel like I should collectively uh be empathetic and compassionate, you know. So I this is what I'm trying to do with my music. And this whole back and forth was very very emotional, and you know, rise like all those emotions floated up. And so it was very extreme. It was very extreme, and since it's my debut, it also was a very um, it was like one of my biggest lessons for sure. You know, like recording this music live was very intense emotionally, like for real. Yeah.
So, talk to me a little bit about promoting the album, live shows, anything that's going on.
So as soon as I come back to New York, I'm planning to have some shows. You know, and I don't have anything scheduled right now since I'm also working. Actually, I'm also working with Friendly. We just had a single out, so we're playing with shows with that band as well. But I hope to have as many shows as possible, you know, in clubs like Ornithology, Close Up, you know, like my I should mention my entire band are like living musicians in New York. So it's like we all collectively in the same boat. So, you know, so it's very exciting. Yeah, it's very exciting. I hope next year to like actually submit this music for festivals and be able to perform with it and you know, and spread my musical statement.
Right on. So if anybody wants to
Yeah.
pick up a copy of the album or previous work, anything else going on in your world, where do they go?
So they should go to my, you know, to my Instagram. I mean, it's out on all streaming platforms. I don't have a website as of now, but my Instagram, it's basically where I update my music. I currently have two shows in Israel actually, but it's not relevant to the people in you know, in New York, which is also my crowd. But yeah, like basically you can look me up. Also, Friendly band. This is also the other band I'm actively in. So yeah, basically.
Right on. Man, this has been so great to catch back up with you. Thank you so much. Travel
Thank you.
well. Best of luck with the release, especially when it gets into a longer format next year. So thank you so much, man.
Yeah, and I'll definitely let you know when the album is out. They're gonna be like 4 more songs added. I should mention that I have very exciting guest artists in the album, which is Ingrid Jensen on on trumpet, and Launo on vocals, which are like very special artists. And yeah, like everybody should check it out.
Right on. Again, it's great to catch up with you. Thanks so much.
Jazz fans, Joe Domino of Neon Jazz here. Proud to let you know about the triumphant return of the Kansas City Blues and Jazz Festival to Legends Field at the home of the KC Monarchs with a stellar lineup. Grammy-winning Stanley Clarke, Carl Denson's Tiny Universe, jazz master Bill Frisell, and KC luminaries Jackie Myers and Brody Buster. Tickets and more for this electrifying 2-day event is found at monarchsbaseball.com, then click on special events. This October 3rd and 4th, join us as we bring magic and music back to Kansas City.